Hi everyone, this is Christine. It is Sunday, July 31st, 2016. It's in the evening. I want to share something that happened to me yesterday, actually. I was on a webinar call, and the person holding the webinar call had us close our eyes and sit quietly with our hands on our laps, palms facing up, and he started talking about opening your heart. So he asked, is your heart 10% open? And he was asking everybody this who was on the webinar call. Nobody was answering him. It was a mute phone call. He was the only one talking. But for me, myself, here at home, as I was listening to the phone call or the webinar call, I said yes to myself. He couldn't hear me, but I was answering to myself, and I said yes, that it is 10% open. So then he kept going up in increments, and he said, is your heart 20% open? And I said yes. I was answering myself. He said, is it 30% open? And I said yes. And because I had my eyes closed, I was imagining these two doors. Okay, so pretend I have two doors here, and they're hinged. Okay, so the door will actually slide out this way, and this door will slide out that way. Okay, but they're touching actually here. I'm going to color this in. So the two doors are actually touching back to back. They're closed. Okay, like if you were to hold your hands together, clap your hands together, the doors were actually closed together. So when he said 10%, I saw the doors open like at a 10% increment. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Well, I'm actually going to need more. But what happened is he said, is it 40% open? I said yes. I'm still sitting there with my eyes closed by myself, with hands over my palms up. And he asked us, is your heart 50% open? I said yes. And he said 60, and then 70, 80, 90, and then until finally we got to 100%. Now when we got to about 40%, in my mind's eye, I started seeing, like, even at the 10% increment, as soon as these doors separated and started opening, I saw yellow light that was in the room that had been closed off because this door was locked. The two doors were locked, they were closed. So you couldn't see any yellow light. But as soon as they opened the 10% increment, you could see there was light inside the room. And then when it opened up 20%, a little bit more yellow light, 30%, a little more yellow light, 40%. And I started realizing that these doors are opening, and as they're opening, this room is opening up more also, and I started getting scared. I actually started freaking out inside. I felt like my hands, like they were flapping. I wanted to hug myself. I was just freaking out. It's like when somebody is being held down on a table. They want to get free, but people are holding their hands and their feet down, their legs down, trying to hold them, but the person on the table is fighting back because they don't want to be held down. That's kind of what it was like, what it felt like for me inside yesterday on this webinar call. And every time we opened the doors, or our heart, because I'm imagining it as a door, he's just saying, opening your heart. Okay, have you opened up your heart 20%, 30%, 40%? But I'm the one who's imagining the door in the yellow room, or the yellow light inside the room. So I'm freaking out as these doors are opening up 10% increments each time. And then 50%, and I was getting a little more wilder and frantic inside of myself. 60%, oh my God, oh my goodness. 70%, I was really freaking out. 80%, 90%, I mean, I was just going berserk and spastic. It was the most weirdest, awkwardest feeling. And I just stayed like that once we hit the 100%. And now the doors were completely open. So I had one door like this. The hinge was here. And the other door was here. So these two doors that were once closed had now completely opened. And they were laying flat. And it was like a line. Okay, so this whole the whole room was completely open. And why I was freaking out is because I was thinking anything and anybody can now just walk into my room. And I was afraid of anything wicked, anything evil, anything mean, anything nasty, anything dirty, just whatever. I was completely open and vulnerable here because before, see, I had my doors locked and closed, so nothing could get in. Now it's completely open and I'm completely vulnerable, and that's why I'm freaking out. Because I have no shield, I have no protection, and I don't know what all is out here that can just freely walk into my room now and do whatever it wants to me or take whatever it wants from me, whatever. So this is why I was freaking out. But I heard a voice in my head says, just stay with it. Just stay with it. Just let it ride out. And just let it, keep going. And I did. I just stayed with it. And I let the spasticness and the craziness and the wild flapping and everything else, I just let it ride out until finally it started calming down. And I heard another voice in my head, and it said, you're safe. It's okay. There's nothing in here. You have like a border or a guard around you on the outside, so nothing, from out here can get in here. So nothing can just walk into your door that you don't know about or you don't want. And it was trying to calm me and tell me you're safe. There's nothing that's going to walk into your door. So finally, I started coming to my senses, and instead of kicking and screaming on this table, so to speak, where people would normally want to hold you down, I actually became calm and peaceful. And I started realizing that it's okay, and I started breathing normal again. Because I was getting like hyperventilating type thing. This was just the weirdest phone call. I have no idea what the heck happened to me. But then I started seeing in my mind's eye, because I'm still sitting here with my eyes closed, and this is all my imagination and my mind is going on. I'm still sitting here with my hands on my knees or legs with my palms facing up. All of a sudden I started seeing these doors started swinging backwards, and they did the same thing. 10%, 20% increment, 30% increment, 40% increment. This is an awful picture. I can't draw for anything. I'm sorry about this, guys. But 40% increments. Then my heart opened up. 50% increment, 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, until finally it reached 100%. And these doors that originally had started closed right here were now closed and touching here. So it had completely gone around, and now I had this circle. So it was closed here, had opened, And it had stayed open while I was freaking out, and that took a while until I finally calmed down. And then it started opening up in 10% increments this way, 1, 2, 3, until it finally, the two doors touched. And this whole circle was big and open. And when these two doors touched, they disappeared. They just ceased to exist. I had no more door. So I went from having two doors and a locked room where nobody and nothing could get in. I was sheltered, I was protected, I had a lock on it. So this was all closed off. I went from opening the doors in 10% increments to having it completely open, half circle, freaking out, but just letting it ride out and just letting it take its course. And then once I came to and I had calmed myself down, it started opening up, these two doors. They started swinging on the hinge in 10% increments going the other direction. Now this was yellow light, okay? This is the room. This is like the threshold of the door. And there was yellow light coming out. So these increments, 10% increments, are actually sunshine rays. And then these 10% increments are actually sunshine rays also. And with the two doors here open, and these two doors, once they reached the other side and touched, they disappeared and ceased to exist when they made it around to the other side. All I was left with was a big yellow ball. So what was originally a yellow room had now turned into a big yellow ball, and it looked like a sun, S-U-N. It was sunshine and it was love. So I had gone from a closed off, locked up person to opening my heart halfway, freaking out in the process, and then having my heart open up the rest of the way, having my doors completely disappear so they didn't exist anymore. And I had gone from being a locked up person, I had now become the sun, S-U-N, sunshine, and yellow light of love. So I had gone from being locked up to becoming love. And then I opened my eyes and I just listened to the rest of the webinar. It was very interesting. I feel like there was a change and a shift in me. This all happened yesterday. Okay, so that would be Saturday, July 30th. It was last night. But I just wanted to share this because it might help somebody else if you're feeling like your heart is locked up also, and you can't come out and you can't let anybody in. So just try to open your heart in these 10% increments, and if you start freaking out or getting scared because you're getting vulnerable and you don't know who or what is going to come into your door, because your doors are wide open now and you've got no protection, you've got no shelter, you've got no shield, you've got no net, no screen door, nothing. You're just totally at the mercy of whatever is out here that wants to come in, and that is one scary place to be, especially when your doors have been locked all this time. But once it calms down, because just ride out the storm, just let all those feelings, all those emotions, all the freakiness, all the craziness, just let everything ride out. Just stay with it, let it run its course, and realize that you are actually safe and that you do actually have a shield around you. It's bigger and it's outside of you, but nothing in here is hurtful or harmful. So nothing's going to come into your door and hurt you. and then let your doors start swinging the other direction until your two doors touch, and then poof, they just disappear. And all that's left is, instead of a locked up person, you're now a big ball of sunshine, S-U-N, of warmth, love, affection, because that's what the sun does. It gives warmth, it gives vitamin D, it makes plants grow, it makes people grow. So now you become the sun, S-U-N, who gives love and warmth and affection and attention, and you help people to grow through your love. You now become your own sun, S-U-N, in order to give warmth and nourishment and sunlight to other people who are needing love and don't have it. So that's sort of what I'm doing, making this video to kind of hopefully shine my little bit of sunshine that I just got last night, or that I think I just got last night on that webinar call. I want to shine a little bit of sunshine on anybody who might need it, and hopefully this video will help you. Okay, so I just wanted to share that. Hope everyone's having a great day, and I will talk to you again soon in the next video, whenever that is. Okay, bye-bye.